Hey guys, Louis here at Tech for Health, and today I'm going to show you how to install the HYD-RO, hydrogen, and reverse osmosis system with our custom trace minerals added back. So let's get into it. This is what you'll receive: the machine, all the accessories, faucet, and all. And you want to begin with the two-stage faucet. Easiest way is to start by getting this little bag with all the adapters and accessories plus the tap. The tap will come with the two nuts on the bottom, so begin by removing those. And what you're going to do is put on a gasket, a backing plate, and a spacer as well. And I'll break all that down. So what you want to begin with is the rubber gasket, and then you would seat that over your hole. If your hole is larger than the faucet, you'll use the spacer. But I'll just show you here. Once it's over your sink, you would go underneath your under cabinet, put on the backing plate, and then put the nut back on. I just thought I would show you this above the counter so you get a rough idea what it looks like, but I will show you as it is being installed what it looks like under your counter. But it's the tap, a gasket, then the backing plate, which goes under your sink, and then you would tighten up those nuts. And again, you would use the spacer before that if you needed the space. And also keep in mind, this is a good time to decide how you want your taps to turn, if you want them to turn towards you or away from you, and figure out which side you would like to be hydrogen and which side RO. In this installation, the hole is a little bit bigger than the tap itself, so I did use the spacer, and I just like the way it looks with the spacer as well. And then you go underneath and attach those nuts by hand, making sure that they're sort of evenly spaced out pressure-wise, one to the next. And then you're going to go ahead and use a wrench to tighten that up afterwards. You want to set your faucet in the right position above so that it's not twisted sideways. So get it all set up nice. Then you're going to use these two couplings that come with your kit. You're going to stick one on one side and one on the other. Again, you decide which is hydrogen, which is reverse osmosis. Your kit will come with one blue hose that is to designate the hydrogen, but really it's the same hose as the same size as the other hose, so you could really choose whichever you like. We just thought we'd make it easy by giving you one blue hose. Either way, connect your hydrogen hose, connect your reverse osmosis hose, and get those properly seated. Make sure they are in all the way. They should go in about 1/4 inch, and it should be stiff. And then also make sure you have shut off your water at this point. I went ahead and loosened this with a wrench just for the video purpose, but you would probably do that obviously when the water is turned off. And then you're going to take the adapter that comes with it, put the black rubber gasket in the bottom, unscrew this cap that is the outlet. This is called a T adapter. You're splicing into your water line. You slide this collar over the hose, and then you would firmly press this over that nipple, making sure it goes all the way on, and then you screw that down tight to hold the hose in place. Again, if you're not handy, professional installation is recommended, but you can do this if you have some experience with plumbing as well. Once that is all hooked up, get some Teflon tape around your connections, tighten down your bottom, and then reconnect the top. I've taken my plumbing apart many times for numerous videos and tests, so my plumbing has some Teflon tape stuck in the upper hose. So you want to always have a good connection with anything that is plumbing related, and monitor these connections. Make sure you don't have any leaks. Anytime you disturb plumbing, there's always a small chance you could have a minor leak. So pay attention for the first few days after you've installed your machine. Keep an eye on it, make sure everything's good to go. And again, professional installation is recommended. It's good peace of mind as well. Now, when you're tightening down your hoses, be sure to hold the adapter and the pipe in place. You don't want to be twisting pipes, especially if they're plastic like these happen to be. Now, the back of your machine is going to come with these black filler plugs in there and some red clips. So begin by removing the clips and then pulling out the black plug. The way to remove them, hose or plug, is to push down on the collar and pull it out. So remove the clip first, push down on the collar, and remove the hose. In this case, this is just a little travel clip, but you would do this to remove your hose in the future at any point in time. And then you're going to install these 90-degree adapters. This allows you to save a lot of extra space behind your machine because they can rotate freely, and you don't have a huge coil of hosing that you need to leave a bit of space for. So the machine is only 12 inches deep, give or take another inch or so for these adapters, and you can fit it into really tight spaces because of the 90-degree flex. So again, push down the collar to remove the hose, and push down on the collar on the main machine to remove the hose as well. Always push and pull out, and always use the supplied clips. Now what you're going to do on your main line underneath your counter is splice into this line and you're going to put this check valve here. Now pay attention to the arrow. It should always flow towards the machine, sort of the direction of water. So away from your water line towards your machine. You're going to install this on the thicker 1/4-inch hose, that is the inlet hose, and then you're going to attach the clips. I will show you this under counter as well. I just thought for the purpose of the video it'd be easier to show this in a brighter, easier environment on my back, if I'm honest. But this is what you'll do. You're going to splice into your main line, put this check valve in there. There's also a sediment filter in that to prevent anything from gumming up your machine. Further down the line, put another splice in there, and you're going to install our pressure control valve. This allows the water to flow over the hydrogen cell at the proper rate. Therefore, you always get maximum saturation with your hydrogen. If it were to flow too quickly, it wouldn't have enough time to do what it's supposed to do. So this little valve maintains that you don't have too much pressure, and you get adequate hydrogen as it's flowing over the cell. Again, put on the clips that come with it. If they don't fit on one way, they will fit the other. They seem to have a little bit of a groove or a slant on one side, so it should go on very easily and clip in, and that will keep it from coming out. And again, double check these are pushed in all the way, especially the thicker hose. It may require a little more pressure than you would think. So firm connection is very important. Again, these are the adapters, the T's that we mentioned before. I like to prep the machine by getting them all clipped up on the counter so I don't have to do this crawled underneath my counter space. So put in each of the adapters. There are 2 that are the smaller size that will only fit in one hole. You then have a smaller one for the hydrogen. It only fits in one spot. Again, there's a diagram in the back of the machine. Everything's clearly labeled. Again, just be sure to install those retainer clips. Make sure they're in all the way. Be gentle. You don't want to tweak these sideways or put too much pressure on the connections. You are going to have water flowing through here, so be gentle. Take your time. And again, if you're not familiar with this type of thing, please hire a professional. Not very expensive to get a pro to come by, and these don't take a lot of time to install, so you're not going to get a 9-hour bill. So underneath your counter, here's what it looks like. You start by plugging in the main connection and the retainer clip. We're then going to run our hydrogen hose where it says hydrogen water outlet. That's the slightly elevated plug. Make sure that's in there good, and then stick on the clip. And then we're going to put on the drainage hose, which I will show you what you'll do with very shortly. This is the wastewater hose, or where the water goes when the membrane is flushing itself and cleaning itself out. This is a self-cleaning system. Filters last 2 to 5 years, depending on flow, but significantly longer than competitive models because of the fact that it is self-flushing. And then the final one is the RO water. Now, all the water coming out of this machine is reverse osmosis. One tap will give you RO that has been hydrogenated. The other tap will just give you RO water. Now you're going to get this bracket plate, which needs to go around your drain pipe, and you're going to drill a tiny hole, which will allow that water to drain. There's little recesses in the back of this plate so that you can have the nut fit in there properly. And then take your little gasket that comes with it. You're going to punch out the center, and that's going to go on the inside of the hole, basically giving you a good seal against your pipe. We'll show you this under the counter as well. I just thought I'd demonstrate it in the bright. So once it is attached to your pipe, you'll feed in the line and then screw on the tightening nut. That's what it looks like in your drain. So put on that gasket, as I mentioned, make sure the hole is clear, and you want to drill a 7/32 hole, 7/32 of an inch, nice clean hole. And to align the two while I'm sort of messing around installing them, I just used a bamboo chopstick, or a skewer, I should say. But you can use anything you like. You just want to make sure the 2 holes align. You don't want the machine to be flushing water and not have a proper seal with your drain. So once it's all aligned and bolted on properly, plug in that hose, make sure it clips all the way in, and then tighten that nut down as far as it'll go. Now you have your AC adapter cable. There is a little retainer clip on there that you can spool more cable around, so you can really tighten up your installation and make it neat. Plug the adapter into the transformer itself and get your remineral filter ready to go. So always start by rinsing these and then letting them soak for 5 to 10 minutes in some water. You don't want any negative back pressure on the machine, and pay attention to the flow that's on the side of there as well. It'll tell you how to install it. Now you may get one of these or 2. Every machine comes with one, but you may opt to get 2. And this is what they look like when they're installed. You've taken the lines from the machine to the tap, cut them, plugged one on each end, and put your retainer clips. So now your output water will go through those remineralization filters. Double check all your connections and all your valves are in the right place. Make sure everything is snug and clipped up. May look like it not, but it's actually not. These are very good quality hoses and connections, all NSF approved. Turn on your water, open the T-valve. Remember, the valve points in the direction of flow. So if the pipe is left and right, you want your valve going left and right. That means it's on. As soon as you turn on your machine, it will initialize. It will begin flowing over the H2 and as well as the reverse osmosis. So what it will look like here is just the 250 without anything running. This is what it looks like with reverse osmosis water going. You won't see any display. And then with hydrogen, you will see your negative ORP, which is your oxidation reducing potential, basically how antioxidant is the water. You'll also get a hydrogen meter and an overall life on the catalytic cell, the hydrogen cell itself. It's many thousands of minutes of flow. If you want it should be 10 to 15 years worth of use in an average household, and it can be replaced. The price on that is $300 Canadian for a new hydrogen cell. So many years down the line, you don't need to toss your machine. You can replace the components just like the filter. So that's what it looks like, hydrogen versus RO. Now when it comes time to change the filters, you want to turn off the water, press and hold the flush button, which is the top button on the machine, and it will start to beep and flash, and you will hear the water flowing through the drain. That is basically evacuating water from the system, allowing you to remove the filter without any flow. Pull out your machine, take the lid off, and you simply grab the filter, pull the handle up, turn it to the left, and pull it straight out. It is a 3-second filter change. Have a towel handy because you will have a tiny bit of water left in the filter itself. Then take your new filter, put the line right next to the dot, plug it in, and again, twist it clockwise with the handle, fold it down, and you're done. No professional needed. It is a 3-second filter change, and we have an all-in-one filter, and you should have several years of use before that needs to be replaced. And you do have indications on the machine. It will let you know, so don't worry about guessing when it's filter time. The machine will tell you. And when you're all said and done, put the machine back, wipe up any mess you may have made, and you are good to go. So last and final, a couple tips. Always turn off the water at the cold water line as well as the T. Don't over tighten your plumbing connections and filters. And inspect your machine after each use for the first few days, just in case. Anytime you touch plumbing, things can happen. Always use correct size adapters that fit your unique plumbing. Plumbing is not universal, so replace your filters when the indicator's lit. Only use genuine filters. Don't use generics, and professional install is recommended. And if you've got any questions at all, please reach out to us, info@tech4health.ca, and we'd love to hear your questions and comments.